Welcome to Tanks Invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professional. As a recording time of 7:33 a.m. on Eastern Time, Ethereum currently trading $3,867, up about 0.15% so far. On the overall crypto market and the equity market, the crypto market is a relatively colorful one, right? With different sides of the spectrums being displayed among altcoin more prominently. On the key coins, we're relatively flat right now, with both Bitcoin and Ethereum trading around like just up or down 0.5% respectively. While Dogecoin seems like it's normalizing from the surge that we have experienced recently from the Elon Musk tweet post, obviously, currently down about close to 7%. Solana is up about close to 4% so far, while MacTech and AVAX are both green respectively. Seems like AVAX is rebounding nicely at currently up about 3.15%. MacTech is up about 1.70% so far. On the equity side, we are anticipating obviously the blockbuster FOMC meeting that's going to expect to happen on a press release perspective at 2 p.m. Eastern time later today, right? So I'll definitely keep an eye out on listening into specific verbiage coming from Jerome, right? And again on the pre-market perspective on equity. Dow Jones currently up about 0.06%. Nasdaq's still down about 1.14%, a little bit better than yesterday. We were close to being down about 1.5% plus at one point. Seems like we're reviving slightly. S&P is currently up about 0.04% so far. So I would say, collectively speaking, despite there is a non-confirmatory signal coming from Jerome or the Feds, right? Um, Before I dive into the technicals, I want to talk about just the psychology. If you were Jerome Powell, you are in his position, what would you be doing today, especially around this time of the year, right? Today's the 15th, basically 10 days before Christmas, right? And then basically 2 weeks away from New Year's, right? Um, we know that the inflationary pressure, the COVID Omicron news, the job numbers, the quantitative tapering, these are all key words that we'll be very keen on listening to today, right? And remember that most of the sell off that we have seen so far has been occurring for several days now, right? Consecutive days now, right? And what have we learned so far about the Fed or FOMC meeting so far? Nothing. We have not really heard anything. We are formalizing or predicting what's the outcome, right? AKA the investment sentiments, the consensus that we get in the market being baked into the current numbers that we see in front of us. The price level is being translated based on our collective consensus in the market. But have we learned anything? No, we have not, right? So I think today, Jerome, which I've based on my understanding of his characterization, him being a diplomatic figure as well, obviously he has to have integrity into his numbers. I hope that I believe, based on my gut feeling, again, I could be totally wrong, right? That he doesn't want to be the bad guy, to tank the market before Christmas, right? I think the verbiage that he will be saying in comparisons to the better sentiment that we get among investors on the market will be not a surprise, but it will be more soothing. Let's just put it that way. That it would not be like rip off your big bandage on your wound when you still try to heal. I think it's going to be a gradual one again, right? He's not going to be punching you in the face, that type of affectation. He's going to give you the path, at least lay out some timeline, right? He will talk about some optimism that he sees, right? Because he's a leader, right? A good leader would be someone that motivates, not, dictates or bash people or bash a specific factor onto driving more fear, right? They're supposed to calm people down despite how negative it's been, right? is a tough one, right? It takes a collective effort, a village, globally for us to get through this hurdle together, right? And we're triangulating between, do we further use asset purchasing to keep the U.S. economy to stay up, or do we, start tapering back, and then allow the corporations to subsequently take over again, and allow the job numbers to slowly replenish back again, which is the mandate that Jerome has, right? So, my gut feeling today is going to be a rebound. I could again be wrong, but psychologically, again, we do not want to make, or Jerome does not want to put himself in that position to make himself look like that a-hole, of tanking the market all over again when we have already been. The market is relatively adjusted already. And what we're going to be seeing is basically the previous day, sell the rumor, and then as we hear the confirmation from Jerome, buy the news. That's what I think is going to happen. Again, I'm not a wizard. I don't have his speech in front of me. I don't have statistical data, so I could be just talking fluff, right? So don't listen to me. But that's my way of stitching this psychologically. So with respect to recording time of 7:40 a.m. on Eastern Time, Ethereum could trade $3,834, down about 0.7% so far. We are on the RSI scale of 41 out of 70. We are still in the bearish sentiment despite the rebound slightly, but there's no form of confirmatory signals in the technicals yet, right? That if we're going to sell down even further to 3,475 because of just more negative bearish sentiment ahead of the meeting at 2 p.m., right, which we will hear for himself about his synopsis, or the conclusion with respect to the meeting today and yesterday, right? So I would ideally place your limit order here at the 3,475. Do we see 3,150? I would say that's probably relatively of a stretch from here. So Bitcoin currently down about 1% right now, hovering around again, right, the comfort level that we've identified, right, the 47,875, which is exactly where we're at right now. So at this moment, with the 37 out of 70, so it's not terrible again, right, to buy some risk exposure here. I think right now is actually a good dip, right? Do we see 43? Do we see 40? I think 40 will be an absolute stretch, but if we get 40, I would be loading up because that will be a steal level. Even I would say this is a huge discount. So I would be prepared. Maybe place some order 43 at 40. Dogecoin down about close to 8% right now, reversing because of the the news that we got from yesterday and days before, I believe, on a Twitter post from Elon that he's expected to adopt Dogecoin as a form of transaction for Tesla. Obviously non-confirmatory, but it seems like people are giving up again, reversing back down. Obviously, this is mainly driven by retail investors. Cardano is down about 2% at the moment, bouncing between 134 to 120. At the moment right now, it's not terrible with the 34 still, so still a good buy, I would say, in my opinion. Solana is up about 3.34% so far. Again, 155, 133, 113 is still the dip for us. XRP is at the 80 cents exactly. Hovering above the 78, right? Anywhere from 88 to 78 is still a good buy. I think some of the people, my friends here on YouTube asked me, is it a good buy for XRP? I think, yeah, right now it's not terrible. Do we see cracking down below 78? That means we're going to head down to 70 if that was the case. But I think that would be rare because right now we're relatively depleted already. Polkadot is down about 1.50% right now, anywhere from current level to 25. So I think we're basically at the bottom right now, 33. So yeah, right now Polkadot is a good buy if you believe in a long term, obviously. ALGORAND is just giving up right now, still sliding off the cliff despite being oversold. I think if you believe in this long term, we are basically at the rock bottom right now for ALGORAND, so not terrible. Shiba Inu is down about 1.78% right now at the 2,900 to 900 is still a good dip for us. MacTech flat right now. Anywhere from 175 to 143 is still the dip for us. AVAX reviving as well, hovering above the 81, right? But for me, I think I personally would just wait until 81 to 60 for us to feel more comfortable around. Let me just take a look at the news before I hop off. I would say we have some interesting news. One is talk about some of the areas of improvement ever since the difficult bomb fixture that we have had recently with that fork, right? I think that happened last week. It seems like there's still some other refinement that Vitalik and the other co-founders and some of the technologists are still working on. And this is a release that was publicly distributed by the Ethereum Foundation recently. And then next one is on Bazinga about 35 minutes ago. Talk about Bitcoin Ethereum rebound ahead of the FOMC decision. Rebound. I don't know what that really means. I don't know. There's no rebound right now. This is just human emotions because it was more of an overreaction, and some people were probably down significantly because of leverage. So people just sold on fear. I would say that's really what it means, and subsequently people bought back up because they've been waiting. So it's a lot of volatile emotional roller coasters rather than a rebound per se. We're not in a rebound yet. Right, I think we'll hear a rebound as we get confirmatory signals. And then the next one is talking about why is Terra, which is Luna, so resistant to crypto meltdown that's inflicting misery on Bitcoin. So it seems like there is a new crypto called Luna, which I know some of my friends here brought this up, and has basically risen near 14%. Recently. So this is a new crypto that I think I might be covering soon. So let me dive into the technicals in a bit and read up a little bit about this, and then I'll incorporate this into my technical analysis. So it seems like what they're talking about is like the value proposition of Terra, what is the technical trajectory for Luna as well. So we'll see how that goes. And then the last one that I see here is on Market Watch about 13 hours ago. Talk about a single Bitcoin briefly made some investors quadrillionaire on paper today. Seems like this is a weird technical error that made some people quadrillionaire error because of the numbers, the digits. That was a technical error within the platform. So interesting, nothing really worth mentioning. So let's just go to recap. With respect to risk management level, these are the levels that we identify here. Again, right? I personally foresee today to be a positive day. I believe that this is like the classic sell the rumor, buy the news type of affectation. And again, put yourself in Jerome's shoes. Before the holidays, do you want to really shake off the market one more time just to be that guy that everybody points at? Like, come on, here we go again. Like, nothing ever comes out positive from him. Like, just to save him face, right? He would say something like that, or at least be diplomatic to a point that this sounds optimistic, despite obviously behind the scenes we all know collectively what's going on, right? And I think if he understands, he's in a game of politics, right? So I think that makes a lot of sense, and I think that's my it's not the right approach, but also is also an approach that is logically makes sense, right? Because his job is to sustain the economy, the market as well. So tanking 3 straight days and then slide off the cliff until Christmas and then see the market getting worse, and that would be, I don't know if he can actually live with himself that way, right? I don't know if that's something that he would feel comfortable doing. So listen closely to his verbiage. I think it's gonna be a relatively diplomatic one today, leaning more towards I would say give this 65% certainty that it will be more optimistic based on his verbiage, and we will subsequently see some sort of a revival. Again, I'm not a wizard. I don't know if this is true, right? But I think that's how I would articulate this if I was him. So hopefully it's helpful. Really appreciate you for dropping by again. And stay super. Take care. Bye.